guys, in today's video I'm going to explain how I controlled my diet and how I learned to track my calorie intake to go from a body composition like this to a body composition like this. And I'm going to help you guys along your journey. So let's go. Alright guys, today's video is a question that I got from my Instagram direct message. So you guys asked me a lot of great questions and I got two answers for you today. First, are we doing another 90-day transformation challenge? You bet your asses. I'll put the rules below, but we're gonna be starting it January 15th and we're giving away $50,000. That's right. And if you don't believe it, watch my videos from last year where we literally gave away $50,000 cash. And you can see the transformation challenge. And we're giving you guys meals, we're giving you guys workouts, and we're giving you guys a great community to be a part of. The second question is, how do you track your diet so that you can reach your physique goals? So I wanted to talk to you guys about my physique a little bit. So I'll show some pictures here of me at a little bit more body fat, and I'll show some pictures of me here with a little less body fat, and understanding that both of these physiques I'm proud of, okay? I love the way I look all the time. There are pros and cons. When I have a little bit more body fat, well hell, I get to have a little bit more margaritas and I get to be a little bit less detailed with my tracking, but I still always pay attention to what's going in my mouth and what I'm eating. But how can you learn to do that so that you can reach a physique like this, so you can get yourself a little bit more shredded, which is something I love to do every couple of years, and I might be doing it again soon. So the first thing is you got to track your diet. So let's go into the kitchen and see how we do it. All right, so I'm here in the kitchen at the Pro Physique Studio, and every morning I get up and I come in and I do my cardio just to wake up. I like to get up early. I've got kids, I've got a family, I've got a business to run. So if I don't get up at 5 in the morning and get shit done, it doesn't get done. So I like to make things simple for myself. So what do? I come in here to the Pro Physique Studio and I grab something like this, my vegan protein powder. But Paul, are you vegan? No, I'm not vegan, but my body decided that it doesn't like dairy anymore. So vegan is the way to go for me. So I actually created my own vegan protein powder because most of the vegan protein powders on the market tasted terrible. This is actually the PR series right here. So if you go to Core Nutritionals, you can get some of my vegan protein powder. But the important part is, how do you track it? Well, there's a little barcode on here, somewhere on here, and you can just drop it into an app and you can scan it now. The app that I used to recommend was called Fat Secret. It's a free app, but I have a question for you, and this is a serious question. If I came out with an app that helped you guys track your meals and also provided you meal plans, is that something you would be interested in? Please comment below because, well, obviously I'm already working on that, but I'd like to hear the interest. But the idea is that you start to be accountable, just like with your finances. When you want to save money, what do? You start paying attention to what you're spending your money on. When you want to lose body fat, what do? You start paying attention to what you're spending your caloric diet on. The best way is just start tracking. Don't worry about the details. For the first week, just track. Also, if you guys are gonna eat something that doesn't have a label on the package, which is very common, these apps have databases, so you can look things up. And the first thing I wanna mention about that is, don't get paralyzed by being perfect. Just start tracking. Don't worry if it's how many servings. Try to start estimating how many ounces, how many grams, whatever you wanna do as far as tracking goes. Don't get overwhelmed by the process. Just start plugging things in. And as you go, you'll get better at it. You don't need to be perfect. It's all about accountability. Just like with finances, you just start paying attention to things and you realize, I spent $600 last month at Target. What the hell did I buy at Target? We've all been there, we've all done it. It's the same thing when you start tracking calories, because you think about your food today and you think, oh yeah, I had about 1,200 calories. But you forgot about the 3 candies that you grabbed at work, and you forgot about the thing that you left in your car last week, and you forgot about your friend that brought in cake to work, and you forgot about, you're grabbing things throughout the day. So when you're accountable, that's when the magic happens. So inevitably, a few things are gonna happen when you start to track your diet. You're gonna start plugging things into your app, like Fat Secret, and it's gonna say something like 13 protein, 75 fat, and 200 carb, or whatever your numbers are for the day. And this is what I have seen. And all the coaches at Pro Physique, this is what we do. We have a 30-minute consultation with you about your coaching goals, and we have you do a diet recall. And if you do a diet recall, I promise you, there's gonna be some funny things. You're gonna notice that your protein's probably way too low, your fat's probably way too high, and depending on how you feel about carbohydrates, they're either high or low. But understanding that, you don't need to fear any of those macronutrients. In fact, they all have value. Protein is valuable, obviously, for building muscle, but carbs are a huge value, especially when it comes to body composition. and so are fats. Fats are so important for digestion, for hormones. But getting the right balance, the right mixture of those, well, that's where an app can help you come into play, because you start to realize that the numbers are out of proportion. That is the first step. Now, when's the last time someone told you that, hey, this is the best diet there is to lose body fat? Probably every single day, especially when I check out at the grocery store. I see, hey, make this one small change and lose 14 pounds this week. It's all horseshit. There's only one way to lose body fat. That's through creating a caloric deficit. Now, if you do this the wrong way and you end up not eating enough and losing a bunch of body fat, you'll actually end up lowering the amount of calories you burn throughout the day, okay? So you just change the equation. So you gotta keep burning the same amount of calories while figuring out a way to take in less, okay? This is what tracking your calories is all about. Once you understand how many calories you're taking in, then you can really plug things in and figure it out. Now, I do have a free macro calculator I put on my site for you guys a long time ago, and hopefully you've been using it, but I'll put a link to it below. But then you can plug in some information if you have no idea where to start. But the idea should be, start on your own. Start tracking. It doesn't cost anything. It doesn't cost anything to download an app. Well, depending on the app, but Fat Secret doesn't cost anything. You can plug in your numbers and you can just start figuring where your calories are. Now, the key here is you don't want to change your habits. You don't want to just start changing what you're doing because you're tracking. Instead, you want to find out, hey, what's my weight? Track your weight every day. Hey, what's my calories? Track your calories every day. After a while, you'll start to have a picture of, wow, I'm averaging this many calories. My weight is averaging this much. Now what do I do to get the needle to move? Well, now you have some data and information that you're armed with, and you can make some decisions, like eating better. Easy one. So when it comes to creating a caloric deficit, now that you've figured out basically how many calories you're taking in, you want to make a reduction in that, a lot of people will start to talk about cardio. This guy right here, this is a treadmill, very common, you see them everywhere. And it can be a huge waste of time if you don't actually understand what you're doing. All that you're doing when you get on a cardio equipment machine, or all you do when you move your hands, or all you do when you go for a run or play basketball or tennis, or do anything that requires a movement, all you're doing is burning calories. So why aren't we all thin? Well, because we actually start to make up for that by eating more food. It's very common. If you do some type of exercises, you're going to be hungrier. This is why I love certain types of cardio, and if you don't know what I mean by that, you can watch my video, Walking to 10% Body Fat. I'll link it below. But the point here is that don't just think you can just start jumping on a cardio equipment or start being more active and lose weight if you're not actually being accountable to the diet, to the calories that you're taking in. The only way to lose body fat is through a caloric deficit. The caloric deficit that is going to work best for you is the one that you can follow. So whether it is just following a balanced approach, hitting your macronutrients every day and creating a deficit, whether it's fasting, whether it's keto, whether you prefer a vegan's type approach, whatever approach you prefer, and they're not all mutually exclusive. You can track macros and be a vegan, for example. So it just matters that you find something that's sustainable and works for you, and that's why I'm giving you guys this free information, and that's why we're doing the 90-day transformation challenge, because I'm going to give you these, and that's why I may or may not be coming out with an app that is going to give you meal plans and grocery lists. Maybe. All right, guys, that's going to be it for me today, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.